What the fuck is up? How are we, guys? Long time no see, in a different setup with the same type of props behind me. So about 2 months ago, we launched a fresh new design competition. You guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I love these design comps because it gets everybody involved. These design competitions are aimed to involve and test the skills of our amazing artists over on our Discord server. The brief was to design a certain brand image and deliverables around the made-up company Pixelated Unicorn. We had just over 20 submissions and these were our top 5. All finalists gained these 5 Discord badges over on our server because that's all my povo ass can actually give you guys for now. And my design moderators, Keenan and Avidity, helped me adjudicate the top 5 finalists. So this video essentially just displays the thought process of us 3 deciding who's actually gonna win this competition. And to be honest, it was fucking hard to choose. Our Patreon is up to $35 per month with this, which is just enough to buy me breakfast. However, I'm gonna be going hungry because for the next competition, I'm going to be giving the full amount of pledges to the winner of our next competition. If you're a traditional artist, a digital designer, or a 3D renderer, then the next competition is for you, okay guys? And I'll be giving some more details about that at the end of the video. I think first of all, the line work doesn't really match up with the geometric approach he's taken with the circle and the logo itself. So I think there definitely needs to be a bit more unity between that.
Because it's so abstract, I think it would have been interesting to see that horn as like stacked rectangles versus the curved shapes.
Yeah, 100%. Like
I agree.
If you actually used like a proper triangle.
Like hinted at a unicorn horn, but didn't go, the same as everyone else kind of.
Directly for it. Yeah.
Maybe if you had like a piece cut out of here.
Or like just a solid shape. Like, because he's got solid shapes currently everywhere. There's no lines. That's where that doesn't really work with the rest.
When we first looked at the entries, I think we all agreed that the typography wasn't the strongest on this one either, that we all would have done something slightly different.
Especially the top and the bottom. Like, I don't think it needs the type on the top and the bottom. It would have been better to just have both of it on the bottom.
Definitely like the approach though, because it's something different. The deliverables are great too, actually. Stickers, we've got social media, more Instagram.
And
that's
I like how the horn worked on these ones.
Yes,
yeah.
True.
Like just taking that one element, putting it in.
That was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. See how the way he's displayed the typography? It's stacked really nicely and actually works really clean with the imagery and the illustration too. So maybe if he actually kept that the same instead of rounding it.
I feel like it would have been better if the horn was more symmetrical, because he's got very geometric shapes and then he's got this like more organic formed horn. In the deliverable, the horn actually does work quite well.
Yeah, I think like it's a great branding element on its own. Like you can isolate one aspect of the logo to use as an element, so you're not just repeating the full logo every single time. It's always a great way to go about it. Yeah,
it's a really clean brand mark. I don't mind the condom wrapper.
I'm sure it's supposed to be parabolous, but yeah.
All right, moving on. I like actually how he's gone and created the gradient from the color palette that we've used.
Yeah.
As opposed to using them as just flat colors.
It definitely comes across different because of the blend. Like it comes across more of like the pastel vibe.
The blend is nice. The whole idea of like unicorns and rainbows, just you want it to just pop in your face, and I feel like this could just definitely pop a bit more. Maybe because the weight was also a little bit unbalanced. I just want more of that rainbow. Like maybe if he put it in the typography.
Yeah, there's a bit of a disunity between the type and the actual logo mark. Can I have a look at some of the deliverables now?
Go have a look. Okay,
I believe
it's so bold in comparison.
There you go. So now he has gone with that dark color scheme and he's created a gradient map as opposed to just that linear gradient that we see in this one.
It's a better way to tie it in.
Yeah, here we go.
Like the whole supporting branding packet, like pretty much. It's a really good job.
When he's gone for the word mark, he's tried to incorporate the unicorn. It kind of looks a bit out. It doesn't really work. Like you've also got the word unicorn is in a different pink than the actual horn, so it's already disjointed there.
I think he's used it to try to tie in the typography with the illustrations behind. Maybe that disparity would have worked a bit better, just to have raw organic illustrations in the background and then your strong sans serif typeface being so bold in front of you. Nonetheless, great submission. Oh, here we go. So we can see the original logo displayed.
Like the original logo has such a different aesthetic to like like what he's creating in the other pieces.
So, I mean, just something to work on.
I think it's that time limit. Like, people just threw what they could together in the 45 minutes.
True.
And then they really put the time and effort into developing the brand further.
Which is good, actually. I like to see that. It proves that people with a bit more time, a bit more focus, a bit more effort, they can actually create something a lot better.
It goes to show that like that time is important to develop the concept further.
And then we've got one more deliverable. Yeah, okay, it's just the same posters, just displayed in a different format.
He could have used the horn to fill that space instead of needing the R to fill that like void.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna touch on.
This definitely could have dropped down towards the left to create a bit more unity
in there instead of the R.
Out of all like the pixelated fonts that people use though, I really liked that one.
Super legible as well, which is good.
Yeah, and it works at like small and large scale.
And you can see he's swapped over the typography over to this one too. It's a good combination of typography.
The type works really well together.
It's good. People are actually putting in some effort. All right, let's head over to Thano. I really like this logo, actually.
You don't find it jarring, the two different styles?
I do find it jarring. It's not too jarring because of the script typography here. It's still very whimsical. It's still very soft and magical almost, and then you kind of get like an inside look to this portal.
It reminds me very much of like 8-bit gaming type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, which does kind of fit in with that, because can you imagine like the branding possibilities in the future where you have like a themed game, etc., or like an ad that would run that's like in that style? Like it would work because you can kind of cross the boundary between the two.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if it was all 8-bit, it would be too many pixels.
Way too much.
Yeah, it actually gives him some possibilities. You can go one way, you can go the other.
I think one of the only comments we made was that we would have liked to have seen the black come into the typography in some way, because it's like that one harsh element and it's not tied in any other way.
Yeah, maybe if it was white, like the same as the clouds, it would all be unified. You're right, I think that could definitely bring some unity.
There's a lot of contrast in that black.
It just pulls all the focus instead of reading the name. If it could have been just a little bit more balanced in that way.
And then maybe clean up some areas like around here, like that black doesn't need to be there. Or if
but then again, 45.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, we're being very hypercritical now. She's actually gone and found some deliverables, some mock-ups. Yeah, it's not condoms. We can actually see the product here. Great. My dirty mind doesn't get to run free.
I'm not entirely sure I love them as much as the other deliverables though. I do find them a little bit boring for the brand.
I think the typography also doesn't match. Why not just stick with the type you've got in the logo?
In the 60 grams, you've kind of got that same script. I think it is a different typeface though, and you want to be careful of not incorporating too many typefaces into a brand identity.
This one has so much personality, like you don't need to have another element, you know what I mean? But I would have loved to have seen something that had more of like that pixelated game vibe, like incorporated into the branding.
Some stationery. This works really well. And then, a social media account. Looks great, actually, as an icon and as a banner. I'm not going to lie, like I do really like this submission. Moving on to this one. Logo, let's be honest, isn't as good as previous ones for the main reason that it's just a little bit simple. And that could definitely come down to the time limit.
Like this one was a bit like mashing 3 different things together that didn't necessarily go together. Like the styles aren't the same for each of them. They don't think the typography necessarily relates to the graphic on the left.
Yeah, and maybe it's a bit too long.
I think we would have troubles in the world of packaging, because you have to have this applied to small circles that would seal packets, the packet itself, the packaging on a box, like your social media, which then you'd need the icon for. I don't know how flexible it is.
What happens if you take away the typography and you just want it as a logo? Is this the logo? Where does this horn go? I think maybe if you put the colors also within this logo, could have created a bit more unity. Still great attempt. I just think personally maybe the skill set of this designer just isn't as far.
You can also tell like the kerning's not quite right on pixelated, and the C and the O in unicorn.
The LAT is like a big one there.
The deliverables definitely got him into the top 5, so he's gone above and beyond to try to create some more designs.
He has actually pulled in that line work again from the unicorn horn.
I wonder if these are different fonts. I think they might be.
It's either squished a bit, like he's actually stretched it in, or it's one of those typefaces where when you change it from bold to black, it will like fatten it up and make it more square.
Okay, one or the other, but they're still...
It could be one of those.
They're still
one
different.
or the other, but
It bugs me that raspberry is like hanging over.
True. It's also something good to pick up on as well. Very little minor details, but it definitely brings in the branding. Okay, and he's gone and created a poster. Nice, some cans down here too. It's good to see people like really putting in some effort into this.
Yeah.
As a video was saying earlier, you can kind of see in this where the length of the logo becomes an issue with the like can presentation, for instance, where it wraps around like half the can.
And like every single product has the logo displayed in exactly the same original format. In like a normal mock-up scenario, you would probably do it in an inline, a stacked, an icon by itself, etc. So you had that versatility. But I think this one's a bit hard to do that with.
100%. He hasn't tried to stack it horizontally either, which I'm surprised about. He's just stuck with his vertical layout.
I like it because it's supposed to be like a unicorn.
Oh, and there's some social media, which is nice. Moving over to Smoky. This here, I don't know. Oh, it's pretty impressive, not gonna lie. It matches the branding really well. The elements within the typography and the logo, they coincide extremely well. There's nothing that's really creating disparity between the two. Color in the logo, and then there's definitely color within the typography, which we can see here. So he's proven to us that it doesn't just need to be black.
My only concern with this one is the legibility, even though you're not reading it, but of the logo. Are you going to be able to tell what that is at all scaling?
Let's have a look at the deliverables. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I can read it.
But like, can you immediately tell that it's a picture of a unicorn?
Not instantly. You definitely need to look at it.
It kind of looks like a sheep a little bit.
Is that?
That's purely because of the hair wrapping right under the neck.
Or a pig.
Yeah, or a pig.
Or a little bit.
Was that Astro?
Baba.
I would agree with you. I don't know. I just think the 8-bit attempt has been done so well.
Yeah, well, I commend them for it. It looks so good. In between the hair and the snout is supposed to be empty space, and then the hair's wrapping around. But I think that one line of pixels gets lost.
I think he's wrapped it around though, because if he was to make it flick off into the other direction, then it would have
be circular.
Yeah, it wouldn't be spherical, but also get in the way of the typography, and the fact that the typography sits so nicely on the right-hand side of this logo. It just feels really well balanced. So maybe that was a decision that he had to make, he or she. And you can see here, he's actually sheared the logo a little bit so that it looks like it's kind of just been slotted underneath the typography, which I think's really clean. Yeah, like a sticker.
That's supporting font for the most unique candy floss on our planet.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, it's the same type as on the packaging.
It would have been, I would have loved to have seen it with pixelated and unicorn in that like bubbly kind of font.
Yeah, instead. I'm not too sure about these designs here. It just seems like there's a lot going on, but that's also kind of on brand too. He's also created his own watermelons. You can see watermelons and cookies.
Oh yeah, that
kind
look good as well.
Yeah, nice.
Bubbles.
Yeah, which I actually really like that. The business cards look great. He must have created his own fairy floss here too. So he's definitely gone above and beyond after the time limit. It's really good to see. Social media. He's displayed the social media, the packaging, the Instagram and business cards. And then he's kind of just displayed them individually, but he's kept his logo down here too, which is really nice. Like if you were to present this to the client, definitely looks professional, which I actually really like about that. Background remains the same, but the deliverables just changed. So yeah, I almost wonder if he should have made this, just bring it up a little bit and then minimized like the Twitter account and maybe the business cards and social media, just so that this was the hero of this combined.
Yeah, especially with that bright yellow on the right, it kind of looks like a spotlight, kind of spotlighted, especially with the podium as well that it's displayed on. It's kind of this almost spotlighting of this in the middle. It seems quite relative to everything else on the page.
Nonetheless, very, very solid submission.
So after some clear adjudication and some deep thinking, Avidity, Keenan and I decided that Smoky, you would be the winner of this competition. It was a really hard choice between these two. However, we thought that your logo was honestly within 45 minutes, very, very impressive. It matched the brief and we were umming and ahhing about the typography, but it was just enough to pull you through into first place. Sorry, I can only give you a Discord badge, but I think it's pretty fucking cool, right? So don't complain. This is how we ranked the other 4 finalists from 1st to 5th. Overall, massive, massive effort by everyone. So much fun to make these competitions. I really do enjoy it. Editing the videos are a bit of a bitch, and if you really honestly stayed through and watched all of it, then drop a comment comment because you guys are the real fucking G's. Remember, for the next competition, all the Patreon pledges are gonna be going to the winner for that. So get over there, support the channel, help me out, and also help provide some incentive for this next competition. So the prompt is going to be a space transit or hub revolved around a futuristic timeline. The main character stands in a large area surrounded by beings from a wide range of home planets. So this design competition starts as of today, as of this video being posted. It's live and it goes till the 14th of December. You can find the brief in the link in this description, or you can also head over to our Discord server. It's in the design competitions channel, okay? That's it for that. All the other information is in the fucking brief. It's a really cool prompt as well, might I say so myself. And as I said earlier in the video, if you are a traditional artist, a digital designer, or a 3D renderer, then this is the competition for you guys, okay? Everyone can get involved. We've got a very specific assessment rubric, so don't worry that the mediums are gonna be different. We're going to be looking at a wide variety of things to be judging your artwork from. Other than that, guys, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, drop a like, all that good shit. We're back at home, we got the setup, I'm making content again, and I'm really looking forward to busting it out. Busting it out. It's a great line to use. Thanks guys for all the support, and I will see you in the next one.